Hi, welcome to Remake TV. I'm Jasmine and you're watching What's Going On. Today on the show we have Keith and he is here promoting and talking about his studio, Visual Arts Brampton. Now Visual Arts Brampton is unique in the sense that it's not a studio that's looking to make a lot of money, is it, Keith? No. Visual Arts Brampton is a non-for-profit studio mostly focusing on offering youth space, time, and instructors to focus their talent. So Keith, tell me a little bit about the start of the studio.
Well, in 1985, I was with the Brampton Arts Council, which is just arts in general.
Okay.
And I didn't know of any art group in the community, so I said to the rest of the board, I have approval if we want to go ahead with it, that we could do a juried show and see how many artists are out there.
Okay.
And we had anybody from the area fill out a form saying they wanted to come to our first meeting. And it was an icy day in February, and we had 26 artists show up in the ice storm.
26 artists. Now that's a big number considering the way artists can be.
So I thought, I guess we have an interest here.
Yes.
So by April of 1986, we officially formed, and the first 5 years we were in a city-owned former school.
Okay.
And then we moved into our present facilities, which is a Caniff Properties building at the corner of Highway 10 and Steeles Avenue, right across from Shoppers World.
Now, how big is your location?
It's over 2,000 square feet. We have, the main studio is mainly for the adults.
Okay.
The other part of the studio is for the youth classes, which are mainly on Saturdays, youth, teen, and little kids. And the sometimes we flex between the two halves. So if we're wanting a workshop with just flat table surfaces, then they would go in the half that I normally teach the Saturday classes. If they're wanting to do portrait session and that sort of stuff, then it would be in the bigger half where we have a model stand and everything for people to pose for portraits or for the life drawing and everything there too.
Now, how many people were involved with the start of Visual Arts Brampton? 26 came to the meeting, but how many actually stuck around?
The initial numbers that we had in the first year were, I think we started with very soon in with something like 40 some artists, and then before the year's end we had 60 some artists too.
And what is kind of the mission statement?
Well, we're there to encourage and to inform and to enlighten, I guess you could say too. And we do provide the studio space for creative outlet. We provide the actual sessions for learning, and we provide the various exhibit spaces. So once they've learned and done, then they have a place to show the work, to then again encourage others to come and be part of the group too.
Now, an opportunity like this, especially for young students, sounds like it's quite expensive.
No.
No?
No, we just moved it up from $250 for the year to $300 from this year on. So at $300, 50 weeks of the year, yes, I don't have Saturdays off, that 50 weeks of the year, that divides into $6 a session, so they're only paying $3 an hour.
That's amazing, because I know students, they're always looking for a place to showcase their art, but there's never anywhere without thousands of dollars. Now, what kind of classes do you offer there?
For the youth, it's a year long, and it's 2 hours every Saturday. There's 3 time slots for my classes and 2 time slots for the little kids' classes.
Okay.
And for the adults, we have 3 times a week that are open studio time, Monday, Thursday, and Friday, 10 until 2, and then Thursday evening, 7 until 9. And then we have a portrait session on Wednesday, 10 until 2. Thursday evening, we also have another open studio time, 7 to 9. Tuesday evening, we have life drawing, and that's drawing from the human form, and that's only for the adults and everything. And now, in the last few months, we've had actually adult time on the Saturdays when when we don't have the little kids' classes in the main part. So
you really cover all walks of drawing. Now, people that come, are they welcome to draw with any medium that they choose?
The only restriction for starters, they can't do something messy like sanding soapstone or something like that. But the only restriction in the painting drawing end of stuff is they can't do combustibles because of the combustibility factor and the fumes that some people would be allergic to.
All right, now.
But drawing, painting, printmaking,
all of it, it's all good with you guys. Now tell me a little bit about your background. What made you decide to start this studio?
Well, I'd graduated from a college in Barrie, Georgian College, and I came down to the GTA to go to Sheridan College for the animation course. switched partway through to the illustration course, which is
Okay.
what got me to Brampton. So when I graduated, I no longer was around a whole lot of other creative people. So I thought there's got to be creative people in a city
There has
the
to
size
be
of Brampton.
somewhere.
So that's why we decided to have the jury show so we could see how many. And we've been active for, in this coming April, it'll be 26 years we've had the
Wow.
group. And 21 of those years will have been in our current space at Highway 10 and Steeles. So we finally got even more lighting in there now, so people have as close to daylight as if they're almost like painting outside and everything. I'm wondering whether it's so much light they have to start wearing glasses,
Oh, no.
sunglasses and everything. But we had moved that to that location so we could have printmaking, but we didn't have the youth stuff. There was a demand from the public. Your community group, why don't we have youth? So we started that about 15, 16 years ago. And we had to get rid of some of the printmaking equipment and such in order to accommodate. We have 30 or so students when we're at capacity for each of my 3 classes on Saturday, and then 18 for each of the 2 little kids classes on Saturday. So we need, something had to give, so we got rid of, sold off the printmaking equipment to other light groups and artists and things like that. So we do still printmaking, but not on as big a capacity as what we had.
Now, why did you choose to make the studio not-for-profit?
Well, you can, at the time we used to have to work bingos in order to pay for the
keep
rent.
it running, okay.
By going nonprofit, for starters, our youth group part of it actually pays to be able to run the studio, to pay the rent, and to pay the instructors.
Okay.
So you could do that and be for profit,
Okay.
but I started, it was just going to be sort of part-time volunteer, and it's a lot of time volunteer.
Yes.
And now I get paid for when I'm teaching, and
Well, this
our
is
other
a
teachers
good
get
thing.
paid for when they're teaching and everything. So we are open to, if somebody wanted to sponsor us, we're open to money coming in, but we're not doing it for profit, we're doing it for the community.
Okay.
And likewise, our exhibits, anybody can exhibit there. And so many times they're totally surprised that they don't have to pay anything to exhibit with us. But Shoppers World doesn't charge us for our 2 corridor
Okay, so
spaces.
you have exhibition space
Yes.
across there.
Yeah, we have, our longest running one is called Artway.
Okay.
And we have a schedule of 12 shows per year.
Okay.
2 of those are invitational.
Okay.
And the other ones are planned ones, like a portrait exhibit, an animal exhibit,
Right.
a cartoon exhibit, all that sort of stuff throughout
Right.
the year. So people, if they're seeing this broadcast, they could contact us at visualartsbrampton.com or find us out about us there and contact us at visualartsbrampton@gmail.com.
Okay.
And they can actually, anyone of any age from anywhere can send for one of our other spaces, send us an 8.5 by 8.5 portfolio sheet of their best works and their favorite works, and preferably printed out in color. And we'll post that for as long as we can in a space called Silver Clips Artworks Gallery. So that was our project for our 25th anniversary.
Okay.
And we have another Artway space at the other side of the mall, and that is for me as president of Visual Arts Brampton. If I see somebody at a show, or if I discover them online or whatever, it's my option as to whether they're as a one-person show or as part of a group show. If people do send us the portfolio sheets, I could very well, if they give me a contact to get back to them, I could very well invite them to any of our shows throughout the year, or for a special show in particular.
So what do you think, I mean, we talked a little bit about this already, but what sets you apart from the other art studios out there? I mean, I know there's not a lot of space for artists in the GTA, but what really sets you apart?
Well, we've had people come to us who've been other places, and they say, it's like coming home here, because our staff, the teachers that we have, are all friendly and knowledgeable, and we care about our members and everything. So we don't, some places people have been and they said, well, I didn't feel as comfortable as I do here. You feel like you know what I need to know before I even ask it. That sort of comment we've had, nice comments we've had. We get a lot of our youth from word of mouth from some families saying, oh, you got to go there. My longest time I had a student was 7 years,
Okay.
And she started with me when she was 8 years old. She went off to Mayfield School of the Arts and continuing with us through part of high school, even though she's going to School of the Arts. And she kept popping in to visit and everything after. She eventually was asked and said yes to teaching for our little kids classes.
Wow.
Now, this past December, she got so busy in this current semester at York University that she had to back away. So I got another student who's about to graduate from university who's filled in for Paulina.
Wow.
So all my students for the little kids classes are former students of mine. I know them as individuals, and I know how creative they are, and they've seen the process from being a
Absolutely.
student.
So you're not just getting run-of-the-mill instructors.
Yeah.
You really stand behind the people who
Yeah.
are instructing.
Yeah.
Now, tell me a little bit about some of the programs you offer, some of the shows that are going on right now.
Well, we just put in Jacqueline, our vice president, is the one who's teaching the painting classes in the open studio time on Thursdays. But she also does painting with my little kids. So she has over the years, she's just been with us about 3 years now, but over those 3 years she has had various times paintings or drawings of her 2 daughters, who are students of mine actually.
Okay.
And I said to her, we had an invitational show scheduled for January, and I didn't have someone in it, so last year I said to her, I've seen a lot of works of your 2 daughters. Would you have enough to fill the space? And it's 52 running feet of case in the Artway one. And she said, yeah, actually I would. So I thought, it's not every day you have a chance, maybe have somebody who does nothing but portraits, but her exhibit is nothing but portraits of her 2 daughters.
Okay.
From little kid up to 16 years later.
That's
her eldest
crazy.
daughter is 16 now. So it makes for a very interesting show. The way I said it shows the evolution of the 2 girls and the evolution of the artist, who's also the mother, and how she evolved from her initial ones to the current ones. So,
wow.
her last piece that she did was just the weekend before, she finished it, just the weekend before the exhibit. And it's a beautiful big piece, about, I'd say, 30 or 40 inches tall, of the 2 girls as they are currently. So.
Wow, so it's really evolution, family. Is that what Visual Arts Brampton is about? Kind of taking them from the beginning and...
Yeah. And what I like too is, I've said often to people when they say, how can you stay at it for the 20
many years,
almost 26 years? And I said I started when I was 2. No, I said to them that it's all the interesting people I've met over the years, and the people who've evolved as an artist because of our course. That's why I only have 2 weeks off for Saturdays throughout the whole year, but it's very worthwhile. I do get a Tuesday through the day and Wednesday through the day, and Wednesday evening even, off, but I'm there Monday and Tuesday evening and Thursday evening and Friday and Saturday most of the time. So if people say to me, why don't we have something on Sunday? I say, if we can find somebody who's willing to come in.
Yeah, someone who can come in.
I do have a life, so.
That's fair enough. You have to kind of recover. Now, do you have any particular story about someone who's kind of grown with Visual Arts Brampton, got out into the world and made a splash?
Yeah, I've had various of my young artists in particular. We have currently a very amazing 28-year-old who has been with us for about 2 years now, I guess.
Okay.
And he can do almost anything, and I kid him saying he's maybe a robot because I've never seen him make a mistake. But of my young artists that have grown with me through the ages, I had one who came with me when she was partway through high school, and she won the Coca-Cola award. Coca-Cola had just come to Brampton, they had a contest. She got the top prize, which is a purchase award of $500, and I proudly say to people, 7 out of the 10 award winners were my students.
Wow.
That was a few years back. She's now a doctor, and she's going through to be a surgeon, but she still does her artwork to unwind after a stressful day.
Wow,
in
and
the
clearly
medical
she has
profession.
some talent
Yeah.
too.
And another young artist who's a friend of hers, she was with me before we even had the group. And then when we had the group and we started the youth classes, she came with me. And Jennifer has done her own storybook.
Wow.
She's now, I think, on the 5th volume. She used to take it to schools, and I think she still will. She is a teacher, but isn't full-time in the school system yet. So she goes to different schools as a teacher, but I think she still will go to schools to read out her storylines. But she had those characters already thought out when she was first with me. Then when she came with me, she had full storylines going on multiple pages. And then she decided she was going to do her first book, and she actually launched it in our studio, and it was a huge success.
Wow, that's great to know that these people are actually making a difference, going out in the world and continuing on. We will be right back with Keith and Visual Arts Brampton. You're watching What's Going On Remix TV. Go get a cup of tea, get a cup of coffee, fluff your pillows, and come back to check out the next video.